Hey, you guys, what's going on? This is your boy, Scotty by Nature TV, and we are here for another episode of Yes for the Mess Deep Dives. We will be doing Yes for the Mess Deep Dives a little bit more often this year. You know, it's like an extension of Yes for the Mess, but it's a little bit deeper into the subject at hand, a little bit deeper into the topic. I hope you guys enjoy these kind of videos. I probably will do them like every other weekend or whenever it's a slow news week or something like that, so you can have you something to watch, a little bit of content. You know what I'm saying? Now, before we get into today's topic for the Yes for the Miss deep dive, let's talk about what I got coming up. Okay, the first things first. Okay, as you all already know, I'm nominated once again for two Boss Babe Awards. Okay, the Scotty by Nature TV platform is nominated once again for Boss Babe YouTuber of the Year, as well as Boss Babe Podcast of the Year for the show The Prelude with Scotty and Jamar. Yes, me and Jamar 84 are both nominated for Podcast of the Year again. So basically, these are the same award nominees that I was nominated for last year. So make sure you guys get into it. All right. Make sure you guys are voting, voting, voting. Voting is happening all month. So make sure you guys are voting every single day. All right. So that's pretty much it. Now, also be on the lookout for the Whether You Like It or Not panel, which will be on Giving You the Real Teas platform on Monday night at 8:15 Eastern Time. Josiah will be back. Okay, he's back for the rest of the season. So make sure you guys get into it, y'all, because even though Real Housewives of Potomac is not really that great, we still try to give you guys a good show. So with that being said, you guys, that's pretty much all that we got for the award nomination announcements and the church announcements. So let's go ahead and get into our messy deep dive. So, with the Real Housewives of Atlanta on indefinite pause and with them not filming season 16 just yet, there are speculations about what's going on with this cast. You know, that we've been hearing that the whole cast is fired and they're going to go ahead and get another cast. We've been hearing that 3 of the vets will be staying and 3 people will be gone. We really don't know what's going on right now. And that leaves people to do a lot of think pieces. I saw this particular post on Facebook, maybe about maybe about a week or two ago, and I wanted to do a video about it, but I never got the chance to. So the video is mainly about my favorite housewife, which is Miss Kandi Burruss. All right. So the post read, and it's on Facebook, and the name of the Facebook account is The Real Housewives of Atlanta Fan, and this is what it stated. It stated, "She is the reason Real Housewives of Atlanta failed, but y'all ain't ready for that conversation. Y'all will not admit it. Her refusal to play the game after season 9 is why the show started to go downhill and never recovered. When Nene tried to save it, Kandi teamed up with Kenya to take her out. Now look where they are. The show doesn't even have a green light to start filming. We don't know if it's returning. Real Housewives of Atlanta, the ratings giant, the highest rated show in Housewives franchise history, is now in the drain. Bravo's biggest profit is now non-existent because they gave a boring housewife way too much power, all because she's the wealthiest, making her the highest paid peach holder when she literally brought nothing to the show. Shakes my head. Hashtag Kandi Burruss, hashtag Real Housewives of Atlanta, hashtag businesswoman." Now, that's what the post had to say in regards to Miss Kandi Burruss and her contribution to the Real Housewives of Atlanta. After reading that post, I felt, the need to come on here and give my opinion on said post. And this is what I got to say about it. And I want you guys to really hear me clearly. I'm a big Kandi Burruss fan. She's one of my favorite housewives. She's a part of one of my favorite R&B girl groups, which is Escape. Okay. I've always been a TLC, SWV, Escape type of boy. Okay. Always have been, always will be. Okay. She is the reason why I tuned into the Real Housewives of Atlanta to begin with. Um, I don't agree with Kandi being the sole reason as to why the show is not where it needs to be at this point. There's a lot of factors in why the show went downhill. You know, a lot of people say that the show went downhill when Nene left. Some people feel like the show went downhill when Phaedra left. Some people feel like the show went downhill when Portia left. We really don't know exactly when did the show become stale, but we have a kind of an idea of when the show began to get stale. The thing of it is, people feel like Kandi had too much power and that she refused to play the game after season 9. And what they mean by playing a game is during season 9, Phaedra Parks, who was one of Candy's best friends at one point in time, made up a megawatt lie about Kandi, basically implying that Kandi said that she wanted to end Portia Williams. Now Portia Gobadia. The lie went on for for most of the second half of the season, right? By the time we get to the reunion, we find out that Phaedra was the one that told Portia that lie. After the reunion was over, after the season wrapped, Kandi said that she would not film with Phaedra ever again. She did say that if Phaedra returns, I'll go. You know what I mean? Bravo chose to keep Kandi, and then they chose to let go of Phaedra. So people feel like Kandi blocked Phaedra from coming back to the show. I've always said this, and I know that people are not going to want to hear what I got to say, but I'm just going to go ahead and say it. Now, when it comes down to that, I don't feel like Kandi blocked Phaedra from doing anything. What she did was she gave Bravo a choice and a decision to make. It's either if you want to keep me, fine, but if you want to keep her, you can let me go. Bravo makes the decisions. If they personally felt like Kandi was more valuable to the show than Phaedra, then that's on them. That's not on nobody else. We can't necessarily say, oh, Kandi blocked Phaedra, Kandi blocked Phaedra, Kandi blocked Phaedra, because I don't feel like she did. Bravo made that decision. And we're not going to sit up here and blame Kandi for the things that Phaedra decided to do. Phaedra is the one who decided to make up a lie about that girl that could ruin her life and her career. She decided to do that. Nobody forced her to do that or anything like that. Number two, I get that this is reality TV and you got a job to do. I totally understand that a little bit. But at the same point in time, when it comes down to it, sometimes we gotta get to a real space. And when you decide that you're gonna threaten my life and my livelihood and make up a lie about me, that's detrimental to my reputation, baby. I don't want to work with you. It goes beyond that. I don't understand why people really feel like Phaedra deserved to come back that next season after she did that. And that let me know, for me, if I was on the show, I would feel like this. Phaedra is, capable of doing anything. She's capable of making up lies on people. She's capable of ruining somebody. She's a dangerous person. That's how I felt about the whole situation. You know what I mean? Now, me being a viewer of the Real Housewives of Atlanta, someone who built his platform on the Real Housewives of Atlanta, whether Phaedra came back or not, I would have watched the show regardless. But at the same time, I definitely understand where Kandi come from. It's one thing like, I'm about my money, I'm about this. Okay, I get that. But another thing is it turned into real life when you decided to make up those lies about me. And to this day, those lies still haunts Kandi to this day. When the allegations against T.I. and Tiny came out, the first thing people went to was the lie that Phaedra told. So this is something that's going to follow her for the rest of her life. No matter what she's done, no matter how vindicated she was, people are still going to use that and they're going to make that the truth when it's really not. I don't really think that Kandi is the sole reason for the downfall of which was the Housewives of Atlanta. It's more to it than the Kandi and Phaedra drama. I feel like people don't know what they want. I mean, when Phaedra left, people were mad and they was like, y'all need to bring Phaedra back. Now, Nene and Portia was still there, but they were like, y'all need Phaedra back. Y'all need Phaedra back. Nene left. Y'all need Nene back. Y'all need. Then Portia left. Y'all need Portia back. So I don't know exactly what the people really want. I feel like Housewives fans don't never know what they want. They always point the finger. They always want to make it a situation where it's this person's fault that the show ended. Is this person's fault? I think that people give Kandi way too much power because I don't think that she has the power to bring down the whole show. If anything, I think the show started to get bad around season 13. Once that COVID season, that's when the show started to get bad. I think that season 10 was a decent season. It wasn't like classic Housewives, but it was a decent season. Season 11 was like a love and light type season. It was it was a decent season. Season 12 was actually a good season. Snake Gate, all that. By the time we got to season 13 is where the show started to go downhill. Season 14, we had a small little comeback, but season 15 is when it was a mess. Why is it that we only want to put the blame on one person for this show being what it was? My thing is that we blaming Kandi because she didn't, quote unquote, play the game. At some point, you got to put your foot down. You can't accept everything, regardless of this being a reality show. It's really no need to accept every little thing, because I know if it were me, I could deal with the rumors, I could deal with this, I could deal with that. There's going to be some kind of slander when you're doing a show like this. But when you go to and I don't want that on my name. Why would I want to work with somebody that did that? Why would I? Why should I have to be around somebody that literally tried to ruin my life for your entertainment? Now, what Bravo could have done was this. If you don't want to get rid of Kandi or Phaedra, if you wanted Phaedra back on the show, you could have just let Kandi go and let Kandi have her own spinoff with her family and friends and call it a day. I mean, if we're being real, the Escape show was entertaining. If y'all didn't want to let Kandi go, y'all could have just gave Escape still kicking it another run, and that's fine, because the Escape shows were much better than the Real Housewives of Atlanta shows, if you ask me. My personal opinion. That's how I feel. Even now, with me being a big fan of Kandi's, with the show going through its changes and the reboots, rumors, and things like that, I do think that they should keep familiar faces around and bring in new girls. My opinion is keep Kenya, keep Drew, keep Kandi. But Kandi can be a friend of the show. Kandi has a lot going on. And that was evident last season. She couldn't be around the way she wanted to. If she has a peach, I'm good with that. But I would love to see her still on the show in any capacity, whether it's her holding a peach or whether she's a friend of. I don't mind seeing that. I think production is a big problem. I think that Eric Fuller was a big issue with this show. And we saw that. You could tell that he was trying to push Sheree and Marlo to the forefront. I don't think that Sheree is a good anchor. I think the biggest issue with this show is that there's no anchor. Sheree, they're trying to make her be the anchor, but I don't think that she's a good anchor. Like, I don't think, I really don't think so. It's not working. They're trying to make Marlo the prime villain of the show, but she's just too whack to even be that. Kenya has softened up. She's not the same Kenya that we met in 2012. Kandi is still the same person. Drew is good TV. I don't care what nobody says. I know that the general consensus is that, girl, we don't like Drew. We want Drew gone. I understand that. But Drew is good TV. She is, to me. She's everything. I like Drew. Sonya is not good TV. Again, there is no anchor. So for anchor purposes, I will bring back Portia. I will allow Portia to be the lead, keep Kenya and Drew, make Kandi a friend, and then the rest of the cast be people that are friends of Kandi's or friends of Portia's or anything like that. Because like I said, I could take Kandi as a friend. I could take Kandi as a peach holder. I would prefer her be a peach holder, but knowing that she got a lot of stuff going on the way that she does, I would have her as a friend. Like, look at how the Real Housewives of Miami went away for all those years and then they came back. They kept Lisa. They kept Alexia. They kept Adriana and Marisol, but they brought Adriana and Marisol back as friends of the show. And they brought back Larsa. The rest of the cast was new. I think that is the same type of reboot that the Real Housewives of Atlanta needs, honestly. Do I think Portia should come back? Y'all know I'm not a big Portia fan at all, but I think that she should come back. Would I mind Nene coming back? Absolutely not. I would not mind it at all. Will she come back? I don't see it. Why? Because she sued the network. Why? Because she called Andy a cokehead. I don't see how that would ever happen. Phaedra don't ever need to come back to the Housewives. Because the thing of it is, everybody wants Phaedra to come back. But if she comes back, Kandi will leave. If Candy's not there, what is Phaedra going to give? Because the main thing the people want to see is Kandi and Phaedra sit down and hash out what happened in season 9. It looks like to me neither one of them want to do that. So it's just like, what would be her purpose? How would she fit in at this point? She don't fit in on Married to Medicine. She's on Married to Medicine now, and I don't understand why she's there. She could have stayed where she was. Now, apparently on this other show called Traitors, she's doing a marvelous job because that's a show about backstabbing, and we do know that she's the queen of backstabbing people. So that does work out in her favor. So why not? Why not? But I don't feel like Kandi is the ultimate downfall of this situation. I just don't feel like. I think it's a multitude of things. I don't think that one person brought the show down. I just simply don't believe that. Now I believe that season 10 probably would have been a hyped up season had Phaedra came back and dealt with the downfall, like the fallout of the reunion. That would have been hot to watch. And bringing back Nene, it would have been hot to see. Like, Nene was Team Kandi at this point. She really wasn't fucking with Portia nor Phaedra at that point. She had Candy's back in that whole situation. So it would have been hot to see. But in real life, no. I ain't working with a broad that tried to say I tried to drug somebody. That's just not finna happen. That's just not finna happen. But what I do want is I want Kandi to be on the show with her group. I think that at this point, Kandi has outgrown the Real Housewives of Atlanta. I think that she may be too big for the show at this point. She has a lot going on. She's now a Tony nominated producer. She's an Emmy nominated producer. She got a Grammy. She's trying to get that EGOT, and she's doing whatever she can to do that. I think that this show kind of is used for promotion of the things that she got going on. And that's exactly what you're supposed to use the platform for. You're supposed to use the platform for promotional purposes. You're supposed to use the platform to put your businesses out there and do what you need to do. You know what I mean? So I want to see her on the show with Escape, but I do know that they don't want to do no show together no more because the group is already fractured. So they feel like doing a reality show is going to make it even worse. But I'm not really certain. I think that Candy's future with the Housewives of Atlanta is looking great right now because we don't know what's going to happen, especially with the fact that they are working to reboot this show and trying to bring in another cast. I, for certain, would love to see Kandi continue on with the show, being that she's an original Atlanta peach, the original Georgia peach. She deserves to be on this show, but if she comes back this upcoming season, if she comes back, I need Kandi to do a couple of things. I need for Kandi to take on that role as the girl that gets everybody together. I need for her to throw events. She's normally the neutral one. So be like Cynthia. Like Cynthia would throw a Bailey Q or a Bailey Bowl or something like that. Like throw some event, throw a dinner party, do something to bring everybody together. I don't want to just see you sit back and eat noodles and drink your Pepsi while everybody else arguing. Like I want to see you bring something. Like your peach party was actually pretty good on the last season. Like do throw parties, do something, do something to bring the cast together. Um, be on the side of right, be that voice of reason. We need that. We got Kenya as the villain, we got Drew, that's still growing as a housewife. So, we need that. I do think that she, as in Kandi, Kenya, Drew should return, have Portia back in, get 3 or 4 new girls, let Shamia be a friend of, um, and let's party. That's what I feel like. You know what I mean? You know, just make this show great again. I do think that Kandi has chilled out for like a couple of seasons because she does have a lot more going on. But let us see a lot of your stuff. Like, let us see you getting ready to go on tour to Escape. Let us see your businesses. Let us see you in your production mode. Like, let us see all the facets of your life. Like, you don't have to constantly give us the Mama Joyce and Todd stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, um, and this is just constructive criticism, because when you've been doing something for a long time, you got to find a way to refresh that shit and make it work. And I think that you're at a place to where you kind of ran everything down the way you need to, and now you're at a place where it's time for a refresh, rent, re-rinse and go type of thing. I think that that's what this is, and you just got to figure out what you're gonna do, because the people are looking at this show, and personally feel like people want the Housewives of Atlanta to fail. And the reason why I feel that way is because a lot of these folks are mad because their faves are no longer on. Nene, Portia, and Phaedra. And we're at a place where it's time, really is time, to introduce the new generation of Real Housewives of Atlanta girls. I do feel like that. And I see nothing wrong with that. But ultimately, the question is Kandi the downfall of the Real Housewives of Atlanta? And if she's not the downfall of the Real Housewives of Atlanta, tell me why you think she's not. If she is the downfall of the Real Housewives of Atlanta, tell me why she is. Let's have a discussion about it. You know what I mean? Let's talk about it. I personally don't feel like she's the downfall of the show. I personally don't think that she single-handedly brought the show down. I don't agree with that. I don't think so. Do I think that Kandi could do more as a cast member? Absolutely. Absolutely. I do. As a person that loves her and watches this show, I do think she has a lot more to give. You know what I mean? So then there are people that enjoy her. She is an inspiration to a lot of us that's, trying to make it and get into this entrepreneurship thing and do it the right way and use our platforms to get to where we need to be. So, yeah, I do think that there's a lot of improvement that can go into Kandi. I do believe that. So I'm never going to sit up here and act like she's the perfect housewife, but I definitely don't think that she is bad as everybody makes her out to be. And I definitely don't blame her for the way the show has panned out over the last couple of years, because it's a multitude of things, from casting to production to just about everything. Okay. So I'm curious to know what you guys think, okay? So before we go, you know what we got to do? We got to pay some bills. So let's get into it now. Tremel, he has a single out right now, and it's called Long Days, and it's available everywhere for purchase and streaming. So make sure you guys purchase it, show him a little bit of love, and support the guy. All right. And then Bando, he has a song out right now, and it is called Bando's Dream Honey, and it is now available on Spotify, Apple Music, as well as the YouTube. And of course, Bando has another song out right now called DUI, which is also available right now for purchase and streaming. He's about to do a music video for DUI, so make sure you guys be on the lookout for that. And he's doing another music video for another record that he's going to do. And I'm very excited about that song because it's very personal to him, and I cannot wait till he puts it out and do the video. So, with that being said, I am Scotty by Nature TV. Be sure to like, rate, comment, subscribe, share this video, and also click on the notification bell so you can be notified whenever a video drops. And if you want to follow me on any form of social media, my Twitter, my Instagram, and my TikTok will be down below. With that being said, you guys, I am out of here. And until my next video, I will talk to you guys a little bit later. Bye, y'all.